Hello there. I've been getting lots of spirit messages lately from my guides asking me to do a reading, a psychic reading for Prince Harry. Is it Prince Harry? Harry and Meghan. So let's have a look. It's been a long time since I did this, and lots going on with this couple, of course. My microphone isn't picking up the cards. I'm going to shuffle these. I've been shuffling them when I've prepared everything today. Let's take a look at Meghan and Harry, and we'll do them one at a time, then we'll do them both together. My name's David Charles, International Psychic Medium. If you'd like a psychic reading with me privately, go to my website. It's davidcharlespsychic.com or David Charles Psychic Limited, and I've got a team of over 100 psychics there. If you want one of those instead, they're on 24 hours a day and they're the best. So, I'm boxing these cards up here. Put that one right. Sorry about that. Just have a look at Harry first. I could call him Prince Harry, it may not be, but let's take a look what comes out. Could be interesting, it's been a while. He's got a new book coming out in January, I believe the new date is. That picture on the front, have you seen that? It looks like a wanted poster. Harry, you've got to change that picture, man. Anyway, I'm only joking. Well, it does look like a wanted poster. And it's a strange title as well, isn't it? Spare. Sounds like a tyre. This is for Harry, and get serious now, because what I want to do is look at 12 to 14 weeks to begin with. Then we do Meghan, and then we do them both together. And I'm going to tell you the negatives first. And any secrets that pop up, I'll tell you at the very end. But let's have a look. He hasn't got many negatives for starters. He's got the Judgment card from the Major Arcana, Judgment Day. This means that what he gets now, well, he's going to get what he deserves. So if he's been a naughty boy, he's going to pay for it. This is during the next 12 to 14 weeks. If he's been good, then great rewards are coming his way. It also means that people have been bad to him. Unfortunately, they get their karma as well. And most psychics and witches believe karma is threefold. So when they get it back, they get it 3 times over. So if anyone's messed with Harry and hurt him, he may not find out about it, but karma will prevail. We all get it. There's no negotiating it. Everybody gets what everyone deserves. I always say you get karma around about twice a year to catch up with the powers of the universe, levelling things out. But he's got some karma coming. I think it's good karma, so that's good as well. He's waiting for something. That's a man waiting for something. Look, riches, it's a pentacle card, which usually means money. I think he's waiting for some money. I don't think he needs money, but he's probably waiting for something. Could be a dispute over some payments with the book or something, or his other ventures that's going on. I don't think it's arguments, I just think there's some kind of delay. And it's possible that the book may be delayed again. And I've been picking up that for a few days. It may be delayed yet again till past January. It's not a certainty, but he may be getting a bit impatient with it coming out. The rest of this reading is quite positive. He does have high stress levels, but he always does in these readings. I don't know why, do you? But he has high stress levels. Maybe a lot of it's self-inflicted, doing things that he shouldn't do. And in previous readings, I've picked up that there's people around that can't be trusted, people in previous readings up to no good, skullduggery. These are normally, well, almost certainly to do with promoting him and getting him to make money and making money out of him. And Meghan, of course. I keep calling her Meghan now. It's Meghan. And people are trying to get money out of them, but they're not stupid. They're wise to these people. The world is full of those types. But the message is that his stress levels, you see the water on the boat is calm one side and rough on the other. It means he's going to calmer waters. And there's a child in the boat, which means it's linked to the children, or one of his children at least, that helps bring his stress levels down. And he'll be glad of that, because he's had a lot of trouble with it. He's not sleeping well, and that comes up in most of his readings. I don't think he's sleeping at all properly. He may feel like he is, but he still feels quite wretched in the mornings. There are some signs I've picked up in spirit as well as these cards, that I think Harry's a bit depressed, and I don't mean fed up, depressed in the clinical sense. He may be on some medication for that, but as I said, I think some of it's self-inflicted. I'm not saying he deserves it, but I think he's a bit down in the dumps at the moment. These readings are quite strange, because each time I do readings for Meghan and Harry, I don't pick up much love, and I'm not just making that up. The love cards are the cup cards, and that's the That's the Nine of Cups. The cup cards are the same as hearts in an ordinary deck of cards, and they usually, most of them, not all of them, but most of them indicate love, and he's only got one in this reading, and that's that one. So it can mean that he's giving out love and not getting any back in, or it can mean he's getting love in and not giving any out. So there seems to be an imbalance. We'll check that when we take a look at Meghan in a few minutes. But at the moment he's waiting for things to happen, and the rest of it I think is good. His stress levels are going down. I think he's seeing somebody soon about his sleepless nights and feelings of being a bit depressed. That may not be the right word, but he's certainly not feeling himself the way he did. I think to put it bluntly, I think he was happier when he was working in the armed forces than he is now. These readings of Harry and Meghan never show massive amounts of happiness, which people wouldn't believe that, but that's what I get every time. It seems to be anyway. However, let's tell you the positives. You may have spotted this. The Sun card means new beginnings. There's a baby there, it can mean babies. And he's also got the Empress from the Major Arcana. They're both Major Arcana. She looks pregnant, see? And she may be fair, so it may not be Meghan. It could be a relative, somebody around him having a baby. But it's got to be close, otherwise it wouldn't be in this reading. And the Major Arcana, the Sun card, means new beginnings, a bright future, things improving. So these readings have been a bit glum, but I think things are improving now. Well, not glum, but they've been a bit disappointing, let's put it that way, in the way that they don't seem to be happy. But I think that's coming. There could be a pregnancy. It could be Meghan again. You don't always get hair colour right. But there's a pregnancy soon around Harry, and it's got to be close. So maybe you like to put the comments below. Maybe you know more about them than me. I'm not fully up on the royals or the relatives and that. I can't even get Meghan's name right. But this card here, he has the Nine of Cups I mentioned. This is what most witches call, and psychics call, a wish card. This means that the powers of the universe are offering him a wish. If you're watching Harry, you've got to make a wish, or you can make a wish, normally within 48 hours of receiving this card. But if you don't, it will mean that something Harry's always wished for will be given to him, and as I said earlier, it's a 12 to 14 week reading. So something that he's always wanted, I don't know what that is. You'd think he's got everything, wouldn't you? But he hasn't. But something he's always wanted will be granted to him by the powers of the universe within 12 to 14 weeks or thereabouts. It could be next week. And you'll know about it when it happens, but something there will be given to him, and he's got new beginnings. I think hopefully it will be new beginnings with his family. I know that sounds very unlikely with the book coming out, but I don't think that this book is going to be as destructive as a lot of the press and a lot of people think it is. In fact, I think as far as the British public go, I'm not saying that Harry's playing the victim, but I do think that this book will get him a lot of sympathy. Not that he's been picked on by anyone, I just think people will feel sorry for him for some of it. And his stress levels are going down. There is more money here, he's got a lot of money coming, that's a lump sum of money. If I was talking to Harry, I'd say keep that, don't give that to charity, you might need it later. Now, I've previously said that Harry will move back to the UK. He hasn't done so yet. I admit I got the timing wrong, but he will be moving back to the UK. Trust me, he will. And I don't think it'll be far away. And I don't necessarily see that the two of them, so it could be just a temporary accommodation where he can pop backwards and forwards, but he will be moving to property in the UK soon. And it may be partly on his own. And I still believe, well, I'll tell you at the end, there's something else I think that's really going to surprise you, well, unless you watch my other readings, but something coming Harry's way that's going to make him happier than he's been for a long, long time. But for the moment, he's got Judgment, the Judgment card from the Major Arcana, which means he's going to get what he deserves. We'll do them together in a minute. He's got money coming, there's pregnancy. This card, by the way, the Empress, also means high levels of fertility. So that doesn't just mean babies. Fertility means things taking off, things growing, things expanding, new ventures, new hobbies, new jobs, sometimes new lovers and new friends. So that's coming through. I know Harry is surrounded by millions of people and everyone loves him, but I don't really think he's got many friends that he can really, truly trust. and he's going to be defensive, of course he is, but I just think the skullduggery around him, it comes through a lot in his readings, it comes through a lot in my messages in spirit when I'm not doing this. I get messages all the time. That's what prompted me to do this reading for you today. But if Harry's watching this, the trend here, generally speaking, is improvement. And I'm glad for that, I'm glad to hear that. But let's have a look at Meghan. So we've got 2, 4, 8 of them, do 8 for Meghan as well. And again, I'm going to look at the Meghan Markle, and then we'll do them together. Let's see what this brings about. We'll shuffle these away from the mic. Again. Any questions, please have a go and put them in the comments. If you'd like a psychic reading with me, go to davidcharlespsychic.com or David Charles Psychic Limited, that's my company. As I said, I have over 100 psychics working for me as well, or you can get me if you want me. You can also order a witchcraft spell from me there. I'll do it for you to bring your lover back, or to bring you money, or whatever you need. My witchcraft spells are very powerful. So, let's have a look at Meghan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right, you may have seen a couple of dodgy cards here if you're good at this, if you know about these cards. And again, I'll tell you the negatives first. This is unbelievable, really. Again, there's not many love cards here. You may spot that there's only 2 cup cards here, which is disappointing. Let me tell you the negatives. Her stress levels are high, but she deals with it well. She's good at hiding it. She wouldn't admit it, but I think she's highly stressed, highly strung, if that's probably the right word. You may have spotted the 5 of Pentacles here. Although it's a money card, there are beggars there walking in the streets. Hope the microphone's right. And they're begging. This card can mean a loss. Now, losses in psychic readings are usually avoidable, but it can mean losing money, losing court cases, losing your lover, losing each other, falling apart, drifting apart. Sometimes it can be losing a person, but that is very rare. But it can mean that, I've got to tell you that now. So if I were talking to Meghan, I'd say be careful with possessions, be careful with lawsuits, because you could lose something. Something here is telling me she's going to lose something, if she hasn't already done so. But it's a 12 to 14 week reading, so Meghan needs to be careful of her possessions and anything that could be lost. It could be an emotional thing. As I said, sometimes it can be something serious. Not surprisingly, she has a Knight of Swords. This can mean legal stuff. She gets it in all her readings. Lawyers, solicitors, people in authority, judges, magistrates, all that kind of thing. But it also means signing legal documents, contracts maybe, new contracts, new deals. In an ordinary, us mere mortals, it can mean signing mortgage papers, but I don't think she'll be doing that anytime soon. That's not necessarily negative, that could be a positive, but it can be negative if it's legal stuff that way. You may have spotted this one. One of the few cup cards that doesn't necessarily mean love. It means depression, sadness. Well, probably sadness more than depression. And see the cups are tipped over, some of them. This card means that they've spilt the milk, crying over spilt milk. So she may, dear Meghan, be wishing she could go back in time and do something again differently and change what she did before. Crying over spilt milk, of course, it can't be done. You can go back in your mind, you can go back to the person or persons if you've hurt someone and apologise, but you can't actually go back and change it. You can only learn from it, of course. So that's a negative as well. This one here shows clubs there. These are wands or batons. In an ordinary deck, they're the clubs. See this person pushing the clubs? You can't see where he's going. It means she's not seeing the wood for the trees. Everything's an uphill battle. She's making life harder than it should be. She doesn't give that away, I know. She's all chuckly smile loads and that, but she actually makes life harder for herself. And she doesn't see the wood for the trees. It's open all around us. You can see. Just open your eyes, Meghan, and you'll see. But she doesn't. She doesn't see the obvious sometimes, and she makes heavy going of everything. This may not be negative, but this cup card shows a person walking away. It means that Meghan is considering walking away from something. It could be walking away from a job, a contract, a film maybe, but it can mean that you're thinking of walking away from your lover. or something, or your friends. Doesn't mean she'll do it, but she's thinking about it during the next 12 to 14 weeks. And I'll let you know the surprise thing at the end, but it's been in previous readings. This one, more wands here. This is, you can see these chaps here sort of fighting with their wands, their batons. It means confusion. It can mean the wrong information coming to Meghan. She's getting the wrong idea. People are feeding her the wrong idea. It could be the wrong email addresses, wrong phone numbers, the wrong information, contracts that have got the wrong details in. She's got to be careful of that, because she may be getting misled, either deliberately or unintentionally, but there's confusion around her earthly life. That's not the love life. The earthly life is the basics, where you earn your money, that sort of thing. For us mere mortals, it'd be our job and that sort of thing. But her basic life, her earthly life, shows confusion, niggly arguments, bickering maybe, and people getting the wrong idea. Not just her, people around her as well. So I'm looking for positives here. There aren't many here really. She's getting advice from an older man. Could be her dad. It's an older man, he's very wise. It may not be a dad, it could be an old uncle or a father figure. But this bloke will be giving Meghan advice during the next quarter, 12 to 14 weeks. The most positive thing here, in some ways, not in Harry's way, but this card shows that she has an admirer. She may not know about it. You see, this person is not looking, they're looking down. They've got somebody who likes them, and they're not seeing that either. So she may have an admirer that she's just not really noticed, and this admirer may be too frightened to tell her, because he or she knows that she's not available. But she does have an admirer. That, I can tell you, is almost a certainty. So it's not as positive as you would think the other way around, because Meghan always looks happy. Harry never does seem to, but these readings show it to be the reverse. Meghan is the sad one, I think, of the two. Although Harry's a bit down, his reading is more optimistic for the future. To me, Meghan looks a bit like there's nothing really to look forward to. She's probably achieved all she can, and wondering what on earth the next step is to keep this happiness going, because she's been on the flow for a few years now. Let's take a look at them both together as a couple. Excuse me. One little last go here, won't keep you long. And then I'll tell you some secrets, or a secret that isn't in these first part of these readings. So, Meghan and Harry together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's have a look what we've got here. Well, they're being offered work. I'll tell you the negatives first. There aren't many. You can see that they've had it a bit rough. I know we don't think it's rough, but they do. The hangman upside down shows somebody who's had a rough time recently. So they've had it a bit fraught, and we know they've been through, although it looks all glossy and Hollywood stuff, they have had difficulties, and they're getting rewarded for that now. So that's improving slightly. The negativity, there's negativity. That sword card indicates negativity. And that means, if I were talking to them, I'd say, get rid of negatives, get rid of negative attitudes, get rid of negative thoughts, and get away from negative people. Get rid of them. Get them out of your life. There's negative people around them, and that, I suppose, is part of the job for them. This person here travels a lot, the Knight of Swords. Arrogant, irritating, interfering, busybody, means well but is a nuisance. I always say like an itch that you can't scratch, which I stole from the film The Magnificent Seven, but it's like an itch that you can't scratch. It's Steve McQueen, I think it was. Then they have job offers, contracts coming. I think I mentioned they're being sought after. See the two men there offering this person work. Meghan and Harry are not looking for this, they are looking for Meghan and Harry. They're sought after a lot. There's a man here, the magician. This is someone who gives them advice, and I think this is Prince William, a man who's clever, tactically in all ways and parts of life. If this person was a working man, if he had a new job on Monday, he'd be good at it. Everything he does is good at it. That's why he's called the magician. I think he is going to give advice to Harry and Meghan if she wants it. Doesn't mean they'll take it, but I think it's come up before in these readings. I still think William is the one that Harry goes to when he wants to talk about problems, and it's sometimes been a bit fraught. They're going through a psychic period. They're being guided by a lady in spirit. I'm not sure who that is. It's probably Diana, almost certainly, because she's beautiful. And it's someone who is spiritual on this side of life, just checking the mic. So they're going through a spiritual time. They're getting advice from spirit, and I'm glad that's happening. I hope they're listening to it. They may not realise where it's coming from, but it is. And then there's this card, a cup card for once. 3 of Cups means a party. Celebration, maybe a wedding, an anniversary, a baby being born, somebody winning the lottery. I don't know in their case, but it's a celebration card and things picking up. So there's got some good and some bad. Now we have this chap making them an offer. He travels as well, but this is a friendship thing. This is someone they actually can trust for a change. The Knight of Cups, really lovely person. Chivalrous, sort of bloke that opens doors for a lady, treats a lady like a princess. He's coming into both of their lives during the next quarter or so. So looking at it, it's pretty good. They're getting rewards for all the work they've done. And I think overall it's improving more for Harry than it is for Meghan. And the secrets I said I would reveal is that I believe Harry is, or soon will be, seeing a lady from his past. We'll find out in due course. And as I said, I think Meghan's got an admirer, which she may already be seeing. Maybe just as friends to start with, but they're in contact. Harry's in contact soon with someone from his past, and Meghan may have been in touch with someone like that for quite a while. So, let me know what you think. Let me know in the comments. Remember, if you want a psychic reading with me, go to davidcharlespsychic.com or David Charles Psychic Limited. You can book a reading with me there, privately, on the phone from anywhere in the world, or a magic witchcraft spell to bring your lover back, or anything you want. And you can book a reading with my team of psychics. I have over 100 that work for me, and they're good. Let me know what you think. Please share with your friends. Please subscribe. Click the bell icon. If you click the bell icon, YouTube will tell you every time I upload a new video, which should be more often than it's been recently, because there's been all sorts of problems. And it's been lovely talking to you. I'll talk to you next time. Remember my motto: think lucky and you'll be lucky. Wherever you are in this beautiful world, remember, think lucky and you'll be lucky. Think love and you'll be loved. And I love every single one of you. Take it easy. Stay cool. Catch you later. Bye-bye.